Hello, hello, hello. Um, got just a few minutes, but there's a few things on my mind that I really just wanted to share because I think it's important for the people who have been rocking with me for the last couple of years, watching me do things, watching me evolve, watching my brand evolve. You've watched the different iterations of career conversations and some of the really fugly graphics I had that were like brown when I started. You've watched it evolve to me having this really cute intro promo, got 50 episodes. You've seen all this cool, exciting stuff happen for me. You have, in the last just 6 months, watched me get featured on a billboard in Times Square. You've seen me create the $1 billion bid rider mugs and branding and information around that. You have watched me speak on stage at the Women in Transportation seminar just last week about AI and the proposal development process next to a panel of engineers. Like, what is the marketer doing in the room, right? I have been on stage with the Department of Homeland Security talking about AI. I've gone to conferences that I never attended before and decided I was going to get on stage like a crazy lady. And all of these like pivots, all of these bets on myself. But the one that I have hesitated on for longer than I care to admit, and my husband would probably high five me right now, is changing the name of my show. Like, this has been a hard choice for me because I was like, well, people have brand recognition with career conversations, but the thing that makes career conversations is really me. And so with that, the name of the show is going to change. We're going to do this live in person in action. So you're going to see the ugly evolution, just like we did career conversations, because I think it's important for people to know that like what I create is not some sort of overnight success or sensation. In fact, when you see me and go, oh, the show's like a real show. She's like a real host. She asked the questions that I've been thinking about, the one that was in my head that I really wanted to know, but I didn't get a chance to type fast enough. Those are skills that I built 20 years ago, like literally, like in a college radio station at Fort Valley State University. Those are skills that I earned. And so what I don't want to do is give people this perception that like, oh, I woke up one day and decided to host a show and it was amazing. No, I sowed in tears. Like I worked for free and for what was it, the work study money, and I still had a job. Like that's what you're seeing when you're watching career conversations, the 50 plus episodes I've created. You are watching what I have sown over decades in practice and failures. I'd even got to a point where when I transferred to Georgia State University and I was still working at Macy's, one of the customers came in and I was checking him out. And he said, wait, you're unique on WRS 88, album 88. And I looked at him like, oh, should I run? Like, I get freaked out when people do that. But I say all that to say, career conversations is done. This is probably an abrupt announcement I need to share with a few folks. I made invites, the invitation stand, the show name is changing. The way that I do the show is changing. One of the things that I've gotten some feedback from some of the nearest and dearest folks to me who know the desires of my heart have said to me, you keep hiding. We need you to show up, share your opinion. What are your thoughts? What are your perspectives on things? And guys, I got a lot of opinions. And there's a part of me that's like, well, journalists don't share their opinions. But ma'am, I'm a whole person. I'm a personal branding and marketing maven. I write proposals for government contracts. I got over $1 billion in wins. These are all like these long list of accomplishments. But at the end of the day, all the things that I can do, the proposal writing, the personal branding, the build an amazing internship programs and teach other people how to do it, the speaking, the moderating, the writing. I mean, I've gone and I've moderated on stages like the Black Women in Data Conference last year. I was there and it was amazing. And so I was on stage at this conference interviewing 4 women I've never met before. And the panel was titled Clean Up on AI. This is at a data conference. I'm not a data scientist, but I ask wonderful questions. I'm incredibly curious. Like, this is what I do. And so I want people to just really kind of understand that we are pivoting into a powerful place where I'm going to show up completely as myself in whatever I do. And so therefore, so my plan is to show up powerfully, fully as myself in whatever I do. So with that, the name of my show has to change. It is simply going to be Unica. Spell my name or miss me. Uniqueka. Come get it. Like, we're going to have a blast. I want to talk about so many things. I want to talk about beauty and healthcare. I want to talk about, my braids I love to death. why is the hair toxic, y'all? Do they hate us that much? Like it's stressing me out. I want to talk about money. I'm always going to talk about money because money creates opportunities. And a lot of us have weird relationships with money, including myself. That is evolving. And so stay tuned for the latest marketing and business collateral. All that stuff is going to come. It's going to take time. I'm one person. I'm going to be looking for resources and people to support me in this endeavor. But that is what's next, because I've been waiting and I've been waiting and waiting for the perfect time and the right time. I mean, had I hesitated on career conversations, you wouldn't have 50 incredible episodes where I've talked to data scientists, I've talked to coroners, Google, Google recruits. I talked to some of everybody, all these people from all walks of life, folks that didn't complete college, people that were in retirement. I had a blast doing that show, but I always feel like there was something missing. And as I go back and watch the old episodes, I was like, I know her, but I ain't her no more. And so I'm really excited to shift and to pivot with you guys. I'm looking forward to the conversations we're going to have. There are going to be some solo episodes where I talk about things like aspirational aesthetics. That's a word that's been on my mind for weeks and months, and it's in part rooted in an experience I had that really shook what I thought was required of us and how we show up versus what we can do, and how do we stand in the gaps in between when we might look like, one thing and we're still becoming the thing that we're showing up as. Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How do we experience that? How do the people around us experience that? How do we, I won't say compensate for the gaps. How do we communicate and set expectations with people effectively? And I think that's part of my goal here with my brief live now is, look, we're going to do it scared, we're going to do it ugly, and we're going to have fun. Because let me tell you, if there's nothing more, I like talking to folks. I like being nosy. I like asking questions, dissecting culture. My husband always teases me when I'm like watching TV or ignoring him. He's like, look, there's Black people, because I am obsessed with like Black radio and television, especially, in a way that's probably insane. But like, that's the stuff I want to talk about. Like, whether it's, the it moments, like what the flip was Erykah Badu wearing when she received that award? What is that about? To like, I don't know. What is your favorite movie? Because mine is probably Harlem Nights. I can watch that on my worst day and it gets me over the hump. But I just want to let you know the new show is going to be called Unica, because it's going to be all the things I want to talk about, all the things that are going on in my life that I think are worth sharing, because I do believe that boundaries are important. And you can thank my OG mentors in radio who said, look, you've always got to keep a piece of yourself for yourself. Like, we don't owe everything to everyone. As public personas, yes, we should be honest, we should be direct with folks, but we also don't have to like tell them like, about our firstborn, like, or anything of that nature. Like, that's not people's business. With all that, I also want to make sure I invite you all to my upcoming personal branding masterclass. It is May 8th at 7 p.m. I'm going to drop a link. Make sure you join me. We're going to have a blast. The opportunity is all about making sure that you understand that having a personal brand does not require you to betray yourself or be someone else. Part of why I'm doing this live now, so you can understand the update and why we are pivoting, because I have become someone else. And so Career Conversations is for who I was. Unica is for who I am. And so we're going to have this masterclass. We're going to talk about what it's like to show up online, what it's like to show up in person. Before we get into those tidbits in my masterclass, I'm going to walk you through what essentially I call your why. What is your North Star? What are the things you want to be doing? How do you want people to mention your name in rooms? Not just mention them, but what are they putting your name in the hat for? What do you care about? We're going to set that roadmap first in the class. Then we'll walk through showing up online and in person, how to show up in networking rooms that maybe you're maybe a little introverted, you're a little shy. You're like, I don't know how to talk to people, what to say. Do I have to talk to everybody? We'll talk about that. It's going to be a good time. May 8th, 7 p.m. masterclass. If you are, corporate girly or executive, government, professional, if you are the expert and the badass in your space, but you feel invisible, get in here with me. I got you. Mwah.